Revival League Season 2 Close Qualifiers Round 2. My name is Retro, and oh my god, I am excited for this matchup. It is another rematch. If you were here yesterday when it was me and Summon on Villa, it was 5STARS up against War Dogs. Was that 2 days ago? In any case, this is another rematch between 5STARS and an opponent that they've already beaten. 5STARS are so far on an incredible undefeated run against everybody that they've come up against, and I do believe all of those were in regulation as well, so they haven't even been taken to overtime, which doesn't really matter all that much in terms of points. The points remain the same, but because it goes off wins and losses, it doesn't really matter too much whether it's in regulation or in OT, but it's still quite an impressive result for them. Quite an impressive statistic, the fact that they've gone up against all of these teams and they haven't lost once. And Oblivion are probably the one team that I would expect to be able to go up against them. I do believe that they were the second place team in the open qualifiers. Maybe they were third place, but I do believe that they had the exact same scoreline as War Dogs did as well. I think they maybe only lost down to a round difference by a couple rounds. But much like War Dogs, they had only ever lost to 5STARS, and that rung true for War Dogs still. They've still won every single one of their games, apart from the games that they've played against 5STARS. Can Oblivion XE turn that around, stop 5STARS in their track, and, you know, take over the lead and be that team to finally beat 5STARS? Or are 5STARS just that good to the point where, you know, nothing really stands in their way? I guess we'll just have to find out throughout this matchup, but it's going to be a really, really good one, and you can already tell that just from the operator bans. We are in Clubhouse. The first site that Oblivion XE are deciding to go to is Gym Bedroom, which the gym room has seen quite a lot of life to it so far every time the Oblivion have played this map, especially when we get down to the basement. Keep an eye out for Sirocco is all I'll say. But yes, as I say, the operator bans have been quite eventful. Oblivion XE decided to get rid of Thermite and Mira. Mira is a pretty standard ban. Thermite not so much, but Thermite is still a really, really, really good ban, just because of these extended roams that a lot of or not necessarily roams, but these extended holds that a lot of teams like to hold, especially on this Gym Bedroom site, where they extend all the way down into cash room, and then you need multiple hard breachers to be able to deal with that, and Thermite makes really, really quick work of that, and also opens up those walls quite a bit, especially this wall that we see Zeppin using one of those can openers on to try and open. But despite that wall being open a little bit, they're still not able to really gain any advantage from it, as they have quite a lot of utility still to deal with. They've just now opened up that castle barricade that was, of course, preventing Rush from being able to go in there, and they still have the player playing on top of red stairs, holding them back, as well as the player playing inside of cash room. So it's still going to be quite a difficult matchup. And Reaperance could be, you know, getting himself in a little bit of trouble here on the other end of the map, but no, it's actually going to be Selberg that's going to get himself in trouble as he goes down to Dez. That was the Legion playing on top of red stairs just a little bit ago. He is by now pulled back and away inside of construction. He's not the only one, as his teammate has also pushed up back there, and I don't know if he's aware that he's being stared down right now, and Rush takes him down. So even if he didn't, he does now, and he does go down. But see, Reaperance has used one of his Selma charges on that construction wall, which is typically what the Thermite will take care of. And then the Ace will usually be on the Jacuzzi wall, but of course without the Thermite, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to achieve. Now it's become a bit of a stalemate, as the attacking team are just waiting to get into position. None of them are really droning. Rush is just sort of holding position. Reaperance could be getting into trouble here, as he has two guns staring him down on this hatch, and he will go down. That's the diffuser as well. Sirocco will go down to a trade from Zeppin. Rush will be trying to push it to side, but those goo mines will be doing him some damage, as well as some impacts flying in as well. shield down. He's going to have to pull them out. Dez crossing over the window, avoiding death just narrowly. Kami taking down Zephan. That's the player on the backside of Rush. And now it's all down to Kepa and Rush to try and salvage this round. The Fuse is still up on the roof. They're going to have to try and go for the kills. But there goes the Frostmat to take down Kepa. It's all down to the Monty, and there's nothing he can do. It's Envy with the final. And 5STARS, or Oblivion, sorry, take the first round in quite the fashion. And really set the pace so far for this game. Very, very well done. Very, very great hold from them. You can definitely see how jump. Yep, that's basically what the Frostmat did. It was just a chomp onto the legs of Kepa, and out they go from the round. Very, very impressive hold from Oblivion, and that extended cash room hold is something that we see very often. I don't think that we've ever seen a team not do that whenever they're defending that site. So very, very impressive, and you could definitely see that it was that the thermite ban affected that roam quite a bit, or affected that attack quite a bit, because they weren't able to deal with all of the positions quickly enough. Typically, it will be the thermite opening up that cache wall or that CCTV wall, and then the construction wall, and then it's just about pushing out those players that are playing in those positions. But without him, it's so much more difficult because you're wasting so much more time getting everybody in position, and of course the castle to boot. It just didn't help. But last round, I spoke about gym room getting quite a lot of screen time, and to keep an eye out for Sirocco. Well, that is exactly why. You just saw him sitting up there as the Oryx. This is what he likes to do, and it's something that he is annoyingly unbeaten with. There are a lot of teams who've fallen victim to his playing inside of gym, and I simply don't understand how it's not that strong of a hold. It's a very easily counterable thing. It's just not something the teams really have figured out how to counter, but I do think that 5STARS are onto him, as there's the Buck with the broken wall, and there go the drones as well, so they are aware of him. They are clearing him out actively, and as soon as he is not in that gym room, it's going to be a little bit harder. There goes the blown open of the wall, and Rush and Selberg both pick up a piece. There goes Sirocco and Des, both of the roamers off the board. Very, very explosive start to the round for 5STARS, and they're the first team that I can think of that have put a stop to Sirocco on that roam, especially this early on. Not only have they put a stop to Sirocco, but they've also put a stop to the roaming in general. All of the remaining operators are all the way back down on site, and he's going to try and aggress up those main stairs a little bit, but this isn't typically what the game plan is. And as he gets droned out as well, he's going to have to pull back maybe just a tiny bit, or at the very least not aggress as far as he maybe would have liked. But of course, because Sirocco had broken up in some of these hatches, it's going to be even easier work for the attackers to start the rest of the attack. And Zemper takes down Selberg. That's a very, very good pick. That was from that beautiful angle over the table and all the way down to the stairs. Envy, with the push up those stairs, does take down Reaperance. They equalize the numbers. They're still hunting down Envy, and he will go down to Kepa. 5STARS bring the man advantage back to themselves, but 50 seconds left to go, and they still aren't really in a position to go for an execute, so they're going to have to try and scramble around to make that happen. They still have quite a few drones, so there's still quite a lot of information for them to gain. They still have a grenade in pocket, quite a bit of utility left as well with those flashes. Just trying to maybe shoot out that Vulcan canister so that it doesn't stop them in their tracks a little bit later on. Oh, Zephan just looking away at the exact wrong moment. Could have picked up a very free kill there onto Zemper, but I think it would be Zemper with the free kill instead. But no, Zemper crossed over to the other side instead, and he gets shut down. Rush on the other end of the map does take down Zemper. It's all down to Kami and Zephan to try and win this round out. Zephan inside a church with the skeleton. He will take him out. Wow, what a play there in a 1v1. It was technically a 1 versus 2, but the other player was down, so if Kami had gone down as well to the Echo, that would have been the round over, and 5STARS equalize the scoreline. They leave it at 1-1, and despite it being very scrambly there, at the end and it coming down to a clutch, I still think that round was won in that first minute when they cleared out Sirocco and Dez up on the top floor. That was absolutely crucial to their attack. That is something the teams really, really struggle with. Like, you would be surprised if you go back and watch our streams from before, from other teams, they really struggle against Sirocco. We've seen Sirocco have 3Ks, 4Ks, even aces from that position, and I'm really happy to see 5STARS being able to counter that, but they've only countered it that one time, and Sirocco and Dez are both going to be a little bit smarter about that. They probably got a little bit cocky with it, just because of how successful they've been with it so far throughout the open qualifiers and the close qualifiers. So, yeah, I really want to see more of 5STARS. I want to see them repeat that. I don't want it to be, just Sirocco and Dez got a little bit, overzealous, and they sort of gave it up, and now they're going to be a little bit smarter with it, and it's going to completely put 5STARS in their, stop them in their tracks. I want 5STARS to be able to repeat that, and to be able to deny that roam no matter what. But apart to how difficult this may be to attack for attackers is the fact that Habana's off the board as well. So that's 2 hard breaches off the board, and Habana's, of course, the best hard breacher when it comes to that vertical play, which is very important. Oh, but there we go. They are trying to push up into Cash Room the same way that they did the last time, but it's Echo drones that are stunning them, and they're preventing them from doing that. Dez having to pull all the way back as he's getting actively droned out. Can't really move much. He can hear the drone, but he's afraid to peek, as of course he could just get shut down, and the drones are just chasing him, spotting him out actively. He's having to pull back, but even so, even after having given up at that particular part of the map, they're still wasting so much time. And within the next 10 seconds is when 5STARS need to make a move and need to take care of these players. But they're now getting reinforcements from below as well. But there goes the first one. Zephin with 1 and 2. That is really, really good job. Really, really good moving. But now Sirocco and Dez, the other 2 roamers, are sort of stuck in the middle ends. They can't really go anywhere from where they are. They can't really rotate back down the site. They can't really attack onto them. They're sort of stuck being either on the mid floor or the top floor. And if 5STARS realize that, take advantage of that, they could just rush down onto Kami and go for the plant. But Sirocco is on the flank, and he somehow manages to pull it off. He takes down Selberg, and that we've seen him do this time and time again. 5STARS need to start thinking about the fact that they have both of these roamers trapped upstairs. Start going for the push downstairs. There's only 1 player playing on site. There goes the shutdown of 1. Zephin with his 3rd. Kami will take down Keppa, who tried to push into side, so it's not just about having the man advantage or having the player, but there goes the shutdown from Rush onto Dez. It's all down to Kami again. Can he do this against 3 of them? 30 seconds left to go. Drones are spotting him out. They know exactly where he is. But then there he goes. Zephin with a 4K this game is able to pick up the final player and puts another round on the board for 5STARS. Puts them in the advantage so very early on and on their attacking half. And they've completely decimated OXC's very, very powerful extended roam from Sirocco. He says it's time. I don't know what that really means. Is he gonna pick onto like a Maru or something? Something I can think of, but he hasn't yet. Selberg said it's time in a very excited tone in all chat, and I'm confused about what that means. Typically that would mean, oh, we're about to go off or something like that. I don't know. It might just be completely unrelated. It could be an inside joke between the players themselves that I'm not clued into, which is very, very possible. I'm just trying to decipher what it means. But as I was saying, 5STARS did a really, really good job of actually repeating that twice. It did take them quite a bit of time, and I think that came down to OXC getting a little bit overzealous by pushing both of their non-roaming players upstairs as well, because you saw Zemper and Envy pushing up those main stairs just as Zephyr was coming around from Strip Club, and they both went down to him as well. I think had Zemper and Envy stayed down or were able to get each other's trades, I think that round would have worked out a lot better. But now OXC are going back to gym and bedroom. It's a site that 5STARS struggle to attack onto. But this time, they aren't playing the Monty, and there goes immediately Selberg with the kill onto Dez inside of Oil Pit. That was a very, very unfortunate peek there from Dez. I think he was trying to be a little bit cheeky. I don't think that Selberg even knew that he was there. He just pre-fired onto that, and there goes the kill. Or maybe they did have information. It's very, very possible that they did. But this wall will be getting opened up a lot quicker than it did last time, as this time, of course, they don't have a monkey to try and deal with that. 7 taking a little bit of damage, also dealing someone to Envy. That jacuzzi wall got opened up as well from Reprints. So they're making very, very quick work of opening up these walls and making sure that everything is exactly how it should be, which is putting the defenders in a bit of a back foot, and Rush could be coming up these red stairs, catching Zemper off guard, which could be a real big issue. Envy taking quite a bit of damage. I'm not really even sure where from. It might be one of the windows. Zemper will get droned out, and he will get double swung here in a second, but there goes Zemper taking the kill onto Selberg. Zeffen just narrowly avoiding getting his head taken off, but there he goes. Zemper with the kill onto Zeffen. Now it'll be Rush trying to push up the main stairs, or trying to push up the red stairs, rather. He'll be peeking onto the construction door as well. He gets shut down from Kami. Zemper with another one, and it's Zemper with another one! Zemper, I do believe that was a 4K for Zemper in this round. Wow, an unfortunate lineup there for the side of 5STARS. Oblivion XC take the round again, equalize at 2 apiece, and really prove that they're best site. Good morning, Zemper. Yeah, he definitely woke up. He definitely woke up in that round. This is what I like to see. This is what I like to see. It's a nice little tug of war, but I do worry for Oblivion a little bit at the fact that they lost a site that they love so much. They love that basement site. They love it exactly for that roam between Sirocco and Dez. It is a terrifying thing to come up against for a lot of teams, and it's something that has worked out for them in the past. It's something that is sort of an easy win. It's like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter where we go, we're going to get around on the basement site no matter what. It's just going to be a thing. So they sort of was counting on that to be a free round, and now it wasn't. It was a 2-time loss. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what CCTV brings them, because this could either put them into the driver's seat again, put them, up 3-2 and secure them at least an even split, or it could put them on the back foot, put 5STARS in the driver's seat, and then they sort of had to choose, are we going to go back here, or we're going to try and, go for the basement side again? Are we going to try and go for maybe a bar stage defense? It's going to have to be quite a bit of analysis very quickly, depending on the result of this round. But back on the Monty is Rush, staring down Kami, the Azami, who I'm surprised even survived the band fades. Normally she does not survive. Oh, that was not the Azami. It was actually Sirocco on the Wamai. But there goes Dez, taking down Zeffen. That is a very, very early pick, and that's a very important pick as well. That's the Capital off the board. So his Firebolt, his Hard Breach Charge, and his Smoke Bolts are all gone and off the board. Not to mention, of course, any Claymores he might not have put down yet. And there goes Selberg with a little bit of drone work and a bit of a pre-fire onto Envy to take down the roaming Jaeger and give 5STARS another into the map. So of course, it's the Nook, so he'll be able to avoid getting spotted by any potential cams. And as Rush keeps on putting the pressure onto Sirocco, so far 5STARS have pretty good pacing, but it does look to be a bit of a stalemate at the moment. They're going to have to try now. Oh, you can see just pixels of his head right where the shield sort of bends a little bit on the top of the head. I don't know if that's necessarily shootable, and I don't think we're going to see him actually take that shot just because of how much Rush is moving, but that could be a bit of danger for Rush. And Zemper will take down Selberg. That's another one to Zemper's name. 6 so far for him. That's the lobby high so far. Rush depleting all of the utility from Sirocco, staying alive, but just barely. He will be getting stared down from multiple angles as well. Reaper's trying to go up onto the slab to try and see if he can pick up an easy kill from here, but of course he's also quite low HP and will be exposing himself quite a bit. They're trying to pinch Sirocco on those rafters, but so far not doing enough, and Reapers can't really peek too far as he will get shut down the moment that he does, exactly as I say it. He does get shut down, and now it's all down to Keppa to try and give Rush some support, but of course it's only one player, and there's so many guns staring down on that door. He can't peek there, he can't peek up onto the slab for the same reason. Rush trying to distract him a little bit, give Keppa an in. It works just a little bit, but there's too many guns, and it's all down to Rush. He does take care of Sirocco, but there's still 3 left. His teammate is downed. He's Monty with no time left, and he will get shut down from Kami. OXC win the round, put themselves in the driver's seat, 3-2 so far, and now it's down to who will win the final round of the half. Oblivion need this round. They want to have that advantage as they head on into their attacking half. I spoke about this before briefly. The Habana ban will hurt them just because of how differently 5STARS defend this. Oblivion didn't care whether they have the Habana or not because they were going to open up those hatches anyway. So they were fine with her being off the board. They didn't care. But 5STARS play that very, very differently. They might even put a Cade in there. It's going to be quite a challenge for OXC to try and attack onto that basement site, which does tend to be the primary site, and I do believe is the primary site for 5STARS defense. So it's going to be quite a difficult attacking half for OXC, so they need all the help they can get. They're going back downstairs. They're doing quite a different setup here. Similar picks onto operators, at least a little bit. So far with what they've had throughout the half, but definitely very different to what they've done so far on the basement site, which definitely makes me feel good that they have realized, okay, we're getting shut down every single time here. We need to change something. So they changed something. Sirocco is not playing the Oryx again. However, he is roaming again. This time with the help of Kami, who is playing the Capcan, which could be a bit of trouble. They do have the IQ, but wonder if that's only going to come into play a little bit later. We saw the Capcan IQ happen already in a matchup, I think yesterday, that was sort of a bit of a mess because the IQ died before she could spot out any Capcan traps, and then it was a bit of trouble. So hopefully that doesn't strike 5STARS as well. And of course that hatch again being open, it is there to help the roamers fall back down, which, as it turns out, there aren't any. OXC realized that their roam is what was hurting them. They were getting too aggressive. They were getting too far off site, and it hurt them. So this time, they decided to open up that hatch again, but have decided to just completely abandon the top floor. And it doesn't look like 5STARS are aware of that at all, so they are going to be going on that roam clear again, chasing ghosts, and wasting time, which bodes really, really well for OXC, because the more time they waste, the better it is for them. But of course, by now, I do believe the 5STARS have caught on to the fact that, hey, no one's up here, so let's just go, which could start commencing their attack, and it could be a bit of trouble. As well as those Capcan traps, they too could be a little bit of trouble. Reaperants will be starting to deploy some of these fuse charges, which will destroy at least some of that utility that is down in sight. Like those Vulcan canisters that are deploying on the hatch drop from the kitchen hatch. Some are pushing down those main stairs already, just holding an angle, I do believe, onto the moto door. Can't really push too far down as Kami has that angle covered. Vulcan canisters getting deployed, and now 50 seconds left to go for 5STARS to try and make something of this. Everybody in the lobby so far is alive. There goes a flashbang. There goes another one. There goes the hatch drop as well from Keppa. They had to have heard it. Oh, but he's blinded. But he whiffs. Sirocco wins that gunfight when Keppa had every single reason to win that. He was blind. He had the advantageous peak as well. He just wasn't able to connect those shots, and it hurt him On the other end of the map, Zephyr took quite a lot of damage. There goes the shutdown from inside of dirt. But is that going to be enough? Rush is pushing down those blue stairs. He will get shot down as well. There goes Reaper with the trade onto Kami. But there goes Zemper going explosive again, taking down Selberg. Zephyr tried to push down the long corridor. Reaper in sight. Will take one, but can't get the other. And it's Zemper again with the finisher. OXC put themselves up 4-2 as they finish this half. Wow, that he would have hit that knife. He 100% hits that knife if he doesn't get shut down. That was a little bit scary looking at it in that little replay there. Maybe a slower fire rate weapon or a less damage hitting weapon definitely gets him there, or gets him killed there for Zemper, but he was able to shut him down, win the round, and now it's down to 5STARS to claw this back and win a few of these rounds, which I do believe that they will be able to do just because of the nature of Clubhouse. But Oblivion did put themselves in quite the advantage here. It was definitely a good choice for them to just abandon what they've been doing so far on that roam with the Oryx and the Goyo all the way upstairs. It was definitely good for them to abandon that. It was good for them to abandon it on the third attempt to defend the site, not on the second, because if they had done it on the second and failed, well, then 5STARS would be able to completely decimate them no matter what they did. But because they did it on the third one, 5STARS were expecting that room again and wasted so much time trying to find them. And then it was all just down to losing gunfights and not having enough time to really execute because they just weren't really in a position to. That's what happens to teams when they waste time roam clearing. They might have the player count for an execute, but they just don't have the positions covered. They don't have anything else really in place for that, and it hurts them massively. But OXC going for a completely different approach to this attack, despite 5STARS bringing a pretty similar defense, save for the, of course, a bandit tricking. But I do believe it's still an extended hold inside of Cash Room and CCTV, and as we see that rotate inside of Logi, we can confirm that. So despite the hold being quite similar, OXC are going for a very, very different approach to attacking it, and specifically with this Ying play as well. They're going all the way from outside, holding an angle onto that main stair window, which will deny Zephyr a cross from the wall, and as he gets yinged out as well, nades coming in, and Thatcher EMP is coming in as well. He is unable to bend the trick that wall. That wall will get opened up pretty quickly. Smoke grenade will get deployed, as goes a Candela, Zemper, and a teammate pushing up these main stairs. Or was there? No, there was nobody there. I think I saw an outline through the wall and confused me. But Keppa could be coming up the stairs to try and flank onto Zemper if he's not careful. Sirocco is downstairs. There goes a C4 from Keppa instead. Selberg taking down Envy as well. Keppa still downstairs as Reaper takes his own, and it's Keppa with the final one. Flawless round for 5STARS on their first defensive round. Beautiful. Absolutely brilliantly defended from them, despite the Ying, despite, Oblivion 60 years old. Wow. Yeah, that is in reference to Keppa just waiting to react to the buck at the end. It was sort of, he was looking at him for like 3 seconds, then I was like, oh, hello, that's a buck. He's not on my team. Maybe I should kill him before he goes and aces on my team. And then he popped him. So that was a bit of a funny exchange there in all chat, in case you missed it. But very, very well executed from 5STARS. And as I was saying, 5STARS are bringing a completely different defense to this site. Interestingly enough, they're not bringing the Cade. I do believe that the Cade might be just, a bit of, restraint to them, just because, Thatcher's on the board. They're going to get that hatch up, and no matter what, you might as well just bring a good old reinforcement, just try to roam up here, try to defend it. It's exactly what they're going to do, and this is a very, very interesting roam as well that we see them setting up with a lot of these doors being barricaded. I actually don't even know if they're going to be necessarily roaming up here. Kepa maybe, but even if they don't, that's still wasting time. They're still going to waste time trying to spot out anybody and then realizing, hey, nobody's here, and then opening up all of those barricades. It's still a massive time dump, which I like to see. I like to see teams utilizing just plain old barricades to do a bit of a time dump. And there goes the first kill, Envy onto Kepa. I'm not even sure how that happened. Oh, I think it was what happened? I'm so confused. Was that on the doorway? In the hallway? Oh yeah, he peeked from the main stairs. Wow. That is a very, very good early pick for them, as it completely eliminates the Warden, who would have been a perfect counter to the Sens that we see Envy bringing. Kami will be hacking these cams, so they will have a little bit more information on to the defenders as well. Not too much though, because they aren't bringing any extra cam work, such as any bulletproof cameras or Valkyrie, Echo. They're not bringing any of those extras. Rush taking a little bit of damage. I'm not even sure where. I think he might have been crossing over the doorway. Zephin does take down Envy, so that's the sense gone. They still have a couple smokes in pocket, but the vast majority of where that Warden would have been really, really useful is taken down by quite a notch, and now it's a bit of a stalemate here for the attackers as they're trying to open up this hatch. That hatch will go uncontested, as they will not be trying to Cade trick it or impact trick it. Kami just holding an angle into this doorway, waiting for somebody to peek him. Doesn't really have to worry about any roamers, as there aren't any. They've cleared out everything. Flank could be coming out, but it's very unlikely, just considering how many spots the attackers have covered. And there goes Sirocco with the kill onto Russian. Oh, that was from Dirt. Very, very good and important kill. Selberg trying to challenge onto that as well, shooting the Vulcan canister inside of Dirt, but there goes the plant as Zemper drops the hatch. Sirocco shuts down Selberg and Zephin, and there goes Kami with the one of the reprints, and the round is over as soon as it has basically begun. Oh, wow. They tried to go to deny that diffuser through the smoke. We could see the bandit running through the smoke to try and deny that, but they just weren't in a position to be able to do that. And Oblivion put themselves up 2 rounds here at a 5-3 fashion. They're just a step away from match point. And this really, really could be trouble for 5STARS here if they're not careful. So far, they've gone undefeated, and I don't think they've ever been down this far. I don't think they've ever been down this much so far in the qualifiers. So could this be
seconds left.
More guns ready. Shoot it if you need it.
5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Subordinate hot. Device activated.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Charge deployed. Reloading. Placing cluster charge.
Reloading.
Activated.
Bomb located by attackers. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Loading new mag! Duties in place! Blowing cluster charge. Reloading! Cover me! Safe to position. Flash enabled! Reloading!
15 seconds remaining. Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Evil eye in place. Let us wire up.
Wall secured.
Device activated.
Bomb located by attackers.
Loading new mag! Evil eye deployed. Deploy proximity alarm.
10 seconds to go.
Loading new
5
magazine.
seconds to go. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Rocket ready.
Barrier deployed.
Swapping mags!
Keep us strength down. Deploying barrier.
Reloading on ammo! Explosive on the move.
EMP incoming! Ratero's gone quiet!
Deploying magnet. Reloading! Activating salva sequence. Ratero going in. Surprise time. Breaching. Lights out. Setting Selva. Sending out RCE. Mobile charge lost.
Frag out.
Enemy inbound. Got to reload.
Come on through.
Barrier formed. Keep it deployed. Calling them up.
Gotta reload.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Heck. Swapping mag!
Gotta reload. We are protected.
Tossing smoke.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers are activating the diffuser.
Dropping mag.
I'm back, and it's in a 2 versus 3 in a post plan. Make that a 1 versus 2 now. 1 versus 1 as Rush takes down 2. He doesn't have much time. He's gonna have to start getting that diffuser down now. Sirocco hears that. He gets off the plant. He's going only 1 second to get back on it. He has to stick it now, but he doesn't. He gets the final kill, but there's not enough time, and it will be a round for Oblivion XC. They put themselves on match point as they win that round. Unfortunately, I missed quite a bit of that as technology is just working against me for some reason. I did lose a connection to my PC. My PC crashed. So that was a bit unfortunate. Hopefully you guys were able to see that and it didn't affect anything on your end. I don't think that it should have. Hopefully it didn't. But that was quite an unfortunate round there for 5 stars. I couldn't see what happened, what really transpired. I think that was pretty winnable there for Selberg as well, or for Rush rather. The Azami, he just wasn't able to clean that up quite enough. He did manage to get all 3 of those kills, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately, because of time, which you know, usually I always say that when you're attacking, you're playing against 6 players. Basically, you're playing against the 5 players of the enemy team, and then you're playing against time as well, the 6th player. And well, when it's a post-plan situation,
5 seconds to insert.
then you're basically playing against time on as a defender, which is exactly what happened to Rush. Had he had just a couple more seconds, I have no doubt he wins that, but just not enough time. And well done there to Sirocco to stay alive long enough to deny that round being won by 5 stars, securing them the match point, not allowing 5 stars to even equalize, and now they have to win the next 2 rounds to put this into overtime. They cannot lose this. They cannot lose this round, or the next round is, of course, if they lose this round, well, the game's over. So they need this round. The last time that we saw them play this site, it was quite a confident win, as they completely shut down Oblivion, but Oblivion are bringing a completely different lineup, and they're going for a completely different attack as well, so that might not work out the same way as it did before. Of course, last time it was, I do believe, Keppa, who kind of went a little bit crazy from below. He's taking quite a bit of damage here on these windows, which is forcing him to pull back, and it's Rush with the first kill of the round to take down Kami. I do believe that was on the windows as well. It's the only thing that I can think of. Hope it wasn't through the drone hole. Yeah, it was on the window. Thank God. I was gonna say, if that was through the drone hole, that is insane. But Zephin, this time, is in a position to try and trick this wall, and he will be doing exactly that. The bandit trick works out perfectly, wastes all of those Selma charges, and Envy is unable to open up that wall. They still have 1 can opener in the bucket of Sirocco, but of course that is going to be less than ideal as a breach. Considering that it is very, very small and it is only vaultable, and it's, you know, not very ideal. But of course, it is the case of, you know, what else are you gonna do? You don't have any other hard breaches, as of course, both the Maverick and the Havana have been banned out. Guess you could be bringing the Maverick, but, you know, he's just so much slower, and there's a lot more risk involved in that. But less than a minute to go for Oblivion to try and salvage something of this round, to try and win this round, try and close this out. And there goes Envy with the peek onto Keppa. Keppa completely unprepared to be even contested in that position. Selberg very, very aggressive on his hold, nearly goes down, and it still isn't out of the woods, as he could be getting peeked here by Sirocco, or Sirocco could be walking into his bullets. But of course, 30 seconds left to go, and they're not really in a position to try and execute this. Selberg holding that angle like an eagle. It's Zephin on those main stairs. There goes Selberg taking down Sirocco on that breach. It's all down to Des and Envy. The diffuser is cold and on the ground. They will not be able to defuse that. There goes the kill into Envy, and there goes the kill onto Des as well. Selberg making sure that this round stays in control of 5 stars and that they are not down and out yet. We have reached 6-5. We have reached the final round of regulation. It will either go to overtime or Oblivion will close it out. We have also reached the one round where I'm not going to be upset about the result, as it will have been a very, very close 7-5 closeout from Oblivion should they win this round. But of course, I will prefer it if it goes to overtime, and I will be very, very happy about that. Very, very well executed there from 5 stars, but now they're having to go to a site that we haven't seen before, which is Bar and Stage. It is a site that we haven't seen before. We haven't seen it before in this matchup, I should say. We do see it sometimes played by different teams. It is typically a site that will get brought up in this scenario. It will get brought up in this scenario specifically, where you don't really have too many chances to, be playing with your fate and to be, oh, let's play this side, let's play that side, I know that we lost it, but we can win it now. You don't really have that choice. You don't really have that freedom of risk. You just have to go and, take the bull by the horns, and that's kind of what this site is all about, as quite a lot of teams still don't really know how to attack it. It's sort of a free-for-all a lot of the times, as there's not really too many established strats on it, so there's not that many established counter strats either, just because it doesn't get scrimped all that often. It's a pretty boring site, something that teams are pretty uncomfortable with. So when you bring it out in this scenario specifically, when it's 6-5 and you're trying to bring it to overtime or trying to keep yourself alive for a little bit longer, it can be a very, very good, ace up the sleeve, but it also could come to hurt you because, if you lose the sort of free-for-all, well, you, in this case, lose the game. So it could be a bit of trouble, especially as they have drones on Zephyr, who has been doing so well so far in this game. He's going to have to try and hold onto it for just a little bit longer. He does finally find that drone, shoots it, pulls back, doesn't allow them the early advantage by taking him out. A minute already gone. No one dead yet. As I say that, Celebrate goes down. That is not what they wanted at all. Reapers in the next engagement here against Zemper nearly goes down. And it's Envy with the kill onto Keppa inside of Secret. And now we are looking at a pretty bad time for 5 stars. This is still winnable for them, but it's going to be very, very difficult, as Oblivion have all the time in the world still to try and win this round. They still have so much information, so much utility, so many players. Those calls are giving them away actively. Rush trying to do a little bit of damage through these castle breakades and underneath them, but so far not enough. And I didn't even realize that Reapers is bringing the shotgun on the bandit, which is just not ideal. And Rush does go down as well. There goes the kill onto Zephyr. And it's all down to Reapers with the bandit shotgun, which about 6-7 years ago would have been an absolutely detrimental weapon, but right now it might not be. He does find one, denies the flawless. The plant will go down, and it's a 1 versus 4. It will have to be an absolute miracle here for Reapers at 50 HP to try and do anything. They're spotting out some of these attackers, but of course he has absolutely no long range contention whatsoever, and it's Dez with the para from the Capital. Nice little headshot to win the game. Wow. There goes the first defeat for 5 stars. And some defeat it was. An absolutely brilliantly, beautifully played game from the side of Oblivion. They played it absolutely brilliantly, absolutely beautifully, and despite getting read like a book on that, basement hold garage roam, they were still able to not only pull it back, but absolutely tear 5 stars a new one, beat them in regulation, and a 7-5 fashion, nearly a flawless in the final round. Beautiful game there from Oblivion to beat 5 stars. So in the rematch against 5 stars, they played each other in the Open Qualifiers round 4. I guess it's a tie now, and well, I don't think we'll be seeing any more rematches between these two teams unless they make it into the same league in the regular season. So that's it for them for now. And before I sign off and leave you with the stream for Ultra to join you in a little bit, I will decide the MVP. I did say that if that if Reprints goes 0-8 again, I will give him MVP. As at that point, that's impressive to go 2 or 3 games in a row 0-8. But of course, that was all jokes, and he did not go 0-8. That was just he was having a really really bad game then, and they still ended up winning that game. So it's not all in the kills. For a lot of teams, this time he got kills and they lost it. So it's not all in the kills. There's so much more nuance there, and well, it's not like 5STARS weren't able to get kills. They were very very good at getting kills. It just wasn't quite enough. And Oblivion just had that little bit of an edge today to win that game. But as far as MVP goes, I think if I crown Sirocco MVP even one more time, I do believe that I will get stabbed. I have security on retainer just in case, but to avoid an almost sure death, I will give it to Zemper. Who has been begging for it for all of open quals and all of closed quals so far. So, Zemper, you finally get your moment. You are finally MVP. And that will do it for me for this game. For me and for 5STARS and for OXC, it will do us for that. But we're still not done as far as the streams goes. As far as the streams go, holy crap! As we do have a game following up in about 30-40 minutes, and I will not be casting it. You will be joined by our dear and old Ultra, who will be bringing you onto a quite an interesting matchup between Mindset Gaming and Budapest 5. So make sure to stay tuned. The stream will still go on. In about 30 minutes time, come back here and go show Ultra some love as he brings you on a journey between Mindset Gaming and Budapest 5. Stay tuned.